let's move into patch 9.2.5, where there's actually cool things. Right, first off, then, they're tweeting about the sword. Is this something they will deal with in 9.2.5?
No.
Makes you think where we'll be later. Now, the Wrath of the Lich King beta is now officially on the Battle.net launcher. There, so, it's brewing. It's brewing.
I will think they'll probably, I don't know. It's weird because I have this whole thing of like, they want to stagger the PR wins to cover a period of time.
Yes, probably.
And then likely, yeah. I don't know if that'll impact June 12th for Xbox because they're not managed yet, so they probably don't give a shit. So it's like they'll probably want to stagger that out and then Diablo Immortal. So it leaves a kind of weird gap where we've got like May 3rd to June 2nd is where everything's likely going to go down, which is a bit strange, but I don't know. They could also just overlap stuff because like, fuck it, we're Blizzard. We've got so many fans, we don't care.
I think we'll do that.
Yeah. Also same with BNet where it's like, I don't know. Okay, there was definitely a couple of issues with logging into Overwatch itself, and they did stagger the beta claims from Twitch.
Yeah,
but it was like, I didn't notice anything. Did anyone notice anything around? Was it 10 p.m. BST on Tuesday? Whenever they're like, yeah, here we just gave 1.5 million people Overwatch, and the Battle.net servers are like, no big deal. No big deal. We can handle this. So it's like they don't have to do that for like betas, where it's like, okay, we have to have the Overwatch 2 beta run and then stop that, then Wrath Classic, or like, fuck it, throw more stuff at the infrastructure, because that's like the best thing Blizzard have ever made in terms of like literally.
Yeah, they can handle that shit just fine.
Yeah.
And I don't think overlapping stuff would be too much of an issue. I mean, they're going to overlap anyway. Other things then, new shop items may be appearing, maybe some pre-orders. Not exactly sure what these things stand for. Just say shop card full though, so probably something to do with the shop. Now, Dark Rangers, are they going to happen? Well, there is Datamined Highborn music from patch 9.2.5, right? Which is pretty much the exact same length as the other Allied Race intro cutscene tracks. It plays very often during the audiobook version of the Sylvanas novel, and it was added in the same build that added a bunch of combat noises for both genders. Apparently these noises are pretty similar. They sound almost identical to the Dark Ranger voice actors from patch 8.1. So, as Portercage is saying, not saying it's that. Could be that though. So, who knows? A lot of people, though, would be very excited to get that customization kit. Also, Steve's... then, of course, Steve did mention that, saying where there's the right opportunity, they'll absolutely do it. And let's not go into any more details than that. Maybe when he says let's not go into any more details than that is because it's going to happen quite soon.
Maybe. Definitely.
And then also, you did joke about Duck Rangers.
Why does
Dark Ranger?
Why does Duck Ranger sound familiar to me? I'm going to go to Google it.
So, he's playing with Dark Rangers. There's Dark Ranger-y things in the PTR. There was, in fact, people thinking that Dark Rangers could be like a class skin or a something. And remember the whole, when it was league season, we didn't know this expansion would be. So, there you go. Now, Fated Rewards. What are these? Jigglesworth Senior. Slime Cat. Oh, a Slime Cat mount?
Yeah.
Alright, so doing so each week, a raid will be fated, right? And that will increase the item level of the loot that you get from that raid and give it new, like, affix style mechanics. So if you complete every single raid on Fated, then you will get Jigglesworth Senior. Is that? Yeah, that's on any difficulty.
Yeah.
Now, if we step that up to Heroic mode, we will get the Hero of Fate title, and for Mythic, teleports to the Shadowlands raids. Path of the Sire, Path to Tormented Soul, and Path of the First Ones. Now, for the item level increase that we can expect in this new season, Mythic 0 dungeons will drop item level 262 gear that can be upgraded all the way up to eye level 300 for Valor.
Item level bloat. Item squish. That actually explains why the crafted item in the showcase for Dragonflight was like 360 or 370 or something.
So it
Because
does.
they actually have that already baked in. This was kind of planned up to 300 and plus. That doesn't really mean anything outside of it's another season.
Yeah, and it's
So
not.
it's completely expected, but it's like, yeah.
It's not really more bloat because it's the same number of seasons that PFA had.
Yeah. Well, it's more bloat than if
seasons
it
at
didn't,
least.
but yes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. That's what we call semantics. Very good. But yeah.
So yes, Mythic Raid gear and Great Vault Mythic Plus stuff should probably cap out around 306. There's also a new thing, a social contract. Basically, it just says, "Oi, if you're a dickhead, you're going to get in trouble."
Yep.
It says a lot more than that, but basically, it's a social contract that appears whenever you log into the game for the first time. And I guess if you don't accept it, the buttons are accept and log out, basically.
Exit game, yeah.
Which does mean that people will have agreed to this. That means Blizzard can just say, "Oh, you agreed to that and you didn't do it, so fuck you."
Yeah.
And to be honest, people being total twats, especially in some instance content and stuff, can damage the game for a lot of people. So
yeah,
why not?
Yeah, there's not really a whole pile to say outside of it's already in the TOS. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Except it's more upfront to
Just
players.
putting it in the game.
Yeah, so players actually more specifically go, yeah. And it's not that, that's TOS. Is literally the game told you, don't be a dickhead.
People
You're
are
a dickhead,
saying
goodbye.
China social credit. No.
Well,
It's not China
I mean,
social credit. Like do you call China, wait, hang on. Do you call China social credit whenever you log into a Discord server and the first page that it says is the general way the server is ran and the things you agree to? No, you don't say that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely...
People are just being snowflake little bitches about this. And that's the
for
thing.
sure.
Some of the people, funny enough, who use the word snowflake a lot are the most fragile motherfuckers I've seen. It's wild.
Yeah.
On both sides, to be very clear.
Yeah. Also, I mean, the amount of social contracts you're already in by default that you're kind of non-verbally signing and stuff like that through just being alive. It's definitely a more upfront version of anything before. It definitely says there's a lot of behavior in World of Warcraft that a lot of people think should be okay, that Blizzard have now said is not okay. And it's like, if you disagree with it, unfortunately, Blizzard like, nah, goodbye. And is that eroding the social nicety of people being allowed to be shit? Or shitheads? Does this have an impact on people who are calling other people out? And is it abusable when you go, dude, come on, do more DPS? It's probably not going to mean anything different outside of them going, no, we will try to enforce this. Because you've always been banned for being a dickhead. You just have to be the not that much of a dickhead. It's like you're allowed to be abrasive.
It's like
you're
with
allowed
FF.
you're allowed to be like pushy. You're allowed to be, you're allowed to stand your ground and be assertive, but you're not allowed to step over any particular lines.
Yeah. It's like with FF, where they have terms that include or cover these things, and they do actually enforce them.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you just have to enforce them.